Although the ninth order cloud beast is very powerful, but Yongkai and Lian Guang are not ordinary Saint King 3-layer. Yongkai himself does not need to say that cross-level combat is a commonplace, and the few puppets driven by Lian Guang are also not to be underestimated. With the help of the fiery bird item spirit, it easily entangled the ninth order monster beast, making it impossible to harass Feijitu and others. If they don't care about the weirdness and many changes of the cloud formation array, the two will probably be able to kill the ninth order cloud beast a long time ago. Seeing that the two Saint Kings were so relaxed, Feijitu and others were overjoyed and calmed. And after seeing the formation of the cloud beasts, they also understood that in this formation, they could only delay the time, and immediately changed the previous strategy, not to kill cloud beasts, only to hold them down. As a result, the pressure on several people was greatly reduced, and they were able to cope with it. During this period, Kai-He and Ducisi continually punched the Saint Yuan into those formation, prying into the mysteries of this split cloud sea array, trying to find the locations such as Formation I and the Gate. But this is an ancient formation array, surrounded by two people from the family, who are proficient in formation. They are also unable to do anything in a short time and helpless, feeling anxious with a cold sweat on their forehead. Don't look at the current stable situation, whether it's Yongkai and Lian Guang's two Saint Kings or Feijitu another 3 Void Return stage. It is extremely easy to deal with the situation, but once the time is prolonged, there will inevitably be accidents. God knows, will there be more cloud beasts appear in this formation? Therefore, the two people also exerted their energy, took out what they had learned in their lifetime, and constantly inferred the changes of this formation. 5 minutes passed. Half an hour passed. An hour passed. The face of the martial artist, surnamed Wen, gradually became dignified, and Feijitu and others were not able to relax. On the contrary, Yongkai and Lian Guang, both relatively weak, were freehand. For Yongkai, the main contributor in this battle is the fiery bird item spirit. He just casually exerts the 9 heavens divine skill to restrain the ninth order cloud beast. In terms of the amount of Saint Yuan reserves in his body, the fundamental consumption is not too much, and Liang Guang is driving puppets to fight the enemy. Although the divine consciousness consumption is huge, but after taking some medicine pills that supplements the power of the divine consciousness, he is calm. His face was normal as usual. But the entanglement fight for so long. Feijitu and others are faintly overwhelmed. The consumption of Saint Yuan is huge, and it will be a worrying situation to continue this way. Feijitu couldn't help but get anxious. Keep looking at Kai-He and Ducisi, wanting to see how they progress. Seeing this, the martial artist with the surname Wen had to open his mouth, urged Kai-He and Ducisi, both of whom did not live up to expectations. After an hour of deduction, they finally found a flaw. A mysterious light suddenly flew out of the countless arrays and formations, and after circling in place for 2 laps, he shot slowly into the distance. In the blink of an eye, the mysterious light hit a group of fiery red clouds floating in midair. After being hit by mysterious light, the fiery red clouds that were moving were suddenly set there. Ducisi's face was delighted, and she quickly shouted, "The formation array is there, and if you break it, breaking it can break the light and split cloud C formation array." Listening to her shouting, everyone looked happy, although after they came in, everyone had already vaguely guessed that the formation eyes or the gate might be hidden in the countless clouds, but no one dared to touch these clouds easily, lest who know what bad things would have happened. And now the formation eyes have been found, this concern naturally disappears. Brother Wen. Feijitu suddenly snorted. Leave it to this Wen. A stern color appeared on the face of the martial artist, surnamed Wen, staring at the cloud that was hid by the mysterious light. Move his wrists, and a half-foot-long golden needle suddenly appeared. In the middle of the finger, he poured in the Saint Yuan inwards, the golden light was released, and whispered in his mouth, "Go." When the words fell, he shook his hand, and the golden light attacked the cloud straight. In the air, the golden light seemed to turn into a fangs of a snake, and opened its bloody mouth wide open, which was powerful. Seeing the golden light about to hit the clouds, a surprising scene happened. The cloud unexpectedly transformed into a fiery red beast like a squirrel. The eyes of the beast dripped, revealing its disdainful look, and it disappeared strangely in its place while shaking. The golden light attacked, and it disappeared. The martial artist surnamed Wen had a dull face, and his expression was difficult to look. Although he knew that the cloud must have changed, he never thought that the cloud beast would disappeared, and a spiritual mind was released, and he could not feel any presence of its aura. When he was annoyed, he saw Yang Kai was like a gust of wind, and rushed directly to the place where the small animal disappeared. His expression is cold, opened his hand and grabbed it. With a snap, Yang Kai's big hand seemed to have caught something, but no matter how the martial artist surnamed Wen went to see it, he couldn't see anything. Instead, a squeaking noise came from there. Immediately there was a stream of flashing lights, and the little beast that had disappeared before appeared unexpectedly again, and at that moment, the little beast was actually held by Yang Kai in the palm of his hand. It didn't leave, but didn't know what method was used to conceal its body. That method was enough to deceive the spiritual mind of the martial artist surnamed Wen. How did this kid discover it? The martial artist surnamed Wen looked at Yang Kai in amazement, and he wondered if the other party was a blind cat hitting the dead mouse or was really targeting it. Just when his mind was in a hurry, Yang Kai had a dark demon flame in his hand and burned the little beast mercilessly. Regardless of how the little beast struggles to resist, he can't get rid of Yang Kai's shackles. This cloud beast, as the formation array eyes, actually has no combat power. It seems to only hide its body. Perhaps there are other magical abilities, but it has no time to use it. In the blink of an eye, the little beast was burned into a ball by the demon flame, and a wooden token-like thing appeared strangely in front of Yang Kai. Yang Kai's expression stunned, grabbed the wooden sign in his hand. At the same time that the little beast was destroyed, the few cloud beasts that had been entangled with Fei Jitu and others, as well as the cloud beast fighting the fiery bird and Lian Guang, and even the countless clouds floating around, all turned to wooden token pouring into it. As if an amazing suction came from the wooden token, all the clouds were sucked into it. After just 3 breaths of time, the crisis was lifted, and the original cloud-stricken world suddenly shattered. After everyone had recovered, he suddenly found himself and others standing near the flower bed. On the flower bed, the purple sword soul grass still straight like a sword. Spirit Cloud C formation array is completely broken. But no one spoke at the moment, but all stood staring blankly, looking at the wooden token in Yang Kai's hand, revealing envious look. Even Fei Jitu and others were no exception. Kai He and Du Cici's eyes can even be said to be extremely fanatical. At this moment, this wooden token-like thing exudes a white ray of light which makes people unable to look directly at it. Formation plate. Is this the legendary formation plate? Du Cici screamed and drew everyone's attention. It's actually a formation plate. Fei Jitu's throat squirmed a little, and his expression was a little complicated, although he had some speculations but he was not sure, and now listening to Du Cici, he immediately knew that his guess was correct. This turned out to be the rare formation plate. All the people present had obviously heard about the rareness and preciousness of the formation plate. The martial artist surnamed Wen remembered that he had missed these strange treasures, and were greatly depressed by Yang Kai. Just now if he went directly to catch the little beast, this formation plate might be his own. Such a formation plate is undoubtedly more valuable than the void-grade secret treasures. Brother Yang! Kai he shouted aloud. As soon as his words fell, he saw Yang Kai lightly and gently put the formation plate into his space ring, and stood blankly. Cough. Fei Jitu coughed softly. Since young boy got it, that's your chance, so keep it. Hearing this, Ning Xianxia pondered for a while, and then he smiled and said, "Congratulations to the little friend for having this treasure, and his strength has greatly increased." The old lady and the martial artist surnamed Wen thought about it and congratulated him. Obviously, they agreed with Fei Jitu. They did not intend to snatch or share the formation plate with Yang Kai. After all, this time they came in mainly to rescue Qian Tong. It was just an unintentional move to get this formation plate. It is obviously not a wise thing to make conflicts for this team now. What's more, the 3 Void Return stage all want to make friends with Yang Kai and borrow his fiery bird item spirit. The opinions of many Void Return stages have been unified, and the remaining 3 Saint King stages dare not to have any opinions. Du Cici puckered her mouth into the sky, looking at Yang Kai's expression with a grudge. This guy didn't understand the way of the formation array at first glance, and he didn't know the preciousness of the formation plate, but actually got the formation plate, which was really unreasonable. If the formation plate falls in her hands, maybe the Du family's way of formation can take a higher level and completely suppress the Kai family. He thought about it and congratulated Yang Kai on his fate, but the smile on his face was extremely bitter. If it was something else, he didn't care, but the formation plate was too great, especially for them. The famous family is even more significant. Yang Kai frowned slightly. Although he had never heard of a formation plate, he could see from the reactions of these people that he seemed to have gotten something incredible. However, he was too lazy to ask these people, just waiting to return to Dragon Cave Mountain and ask Yang Yan what the formation plate is all about. Encountered a sword soul grass, then suddenly encountered this difficulty, and everyone immediately understood that this ancient ruin is not so peaceful, but engulfed in crisis, and accidentally falls into the restriction formation. Everyone dares not to be scornful again in their heart. First rest here to recover. If you encounter anything on the road, don't act rashly, Fei Jitu said, and then walked to meditate. Everyone nodded their heads and took out Saint Crystal and medicine pill to start recovery. To be continued.